Hey everybody, today I am in West Carmel, and specifically I'm walking around the village of West Clay. Now the village of West Clay it's actually a really large neighborhood. It's a master plan community, but it literally does have a village within it. And so that's where I am right now. A lot of shops and some restaurants in here, and a couple of really cool places that definitely been to in the past and like to go. But usually there's quite a few people around here, some cars, so I gotta watch where I'm going. But we're gonna talk about Village of West Clay a little bit and just kind of what you can expect in West Carmel with a neighborhood like this in this video, so stay tuned. Hey everybody, I'm Jason Compton with the Compton Home Group. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Village of West Clay or West Carmel, Carmel, Indiana, Indianapolis, Indiana, Greenwood, Indiana, Plainfield, Indiana, any of the cities and towns surrounding Indianapolis, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap the little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. Now we have people reaching out to us from all over the country with questions about Carmel, Indiana, Indianapolis, Indiana, and basically anything surrounding Indianapolis. So if you have questions at all about anything Indianapolis or any of those cities and towns surrounding it, reach out any way that you know how. We'll always have your back with those questions, and we'll certainly have your back when it comes time for you to make your move to the Indy Metro. All right guys, again, I am walking around the village of West Clay, which is really super neat. It's pretty cool. Back behind me, got the very end building, the more brown brick building. It's a library branch, Carmel Library. And then there's all kinds of other shops around here and businesses. A couple dentist office, a law firm, just looking around at Sam's Ale House just down the street. There's a wealth management, so financial firm through here, bank. Up around the corner, one of my favorite places, Danny Boy Brewery, super cool. Always like going there. Just all kinds of little places to go right here in this village. So now the village of West Clay, if you were to look at homes or anything like that, you'll see quite a few in West Carmel that are in the village of West Clay that pop up on the market and are for sale. And the village of West Clay, when West Carmel was really growing, and that's the direction Carmel is really growing because it's the only place where it has room to grow, is out to the west. And of course this has been a while now. This has been here for more than 20 years, and it's not necessarily old, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily new either. But a lot of West Carmel, even though that's not an absolute designation, there's no major difference between East Carmel and West Carmel on a map. So you wouldn't have a West Carmel address or an East Carmel address. It's just going to be Carmel, but you're going to notice a lot of differences, I think, when you visit West Carmel and explore it compared to the east side. And age is definitely going to be one of those things, and maturity to go along with it. When you get over into the west part of Carmel, you get a lot newer homes and a lot newer neighborhoods. And then you get over into East Carmel, you can still find newer homes and newer neighborhoods, but the overall average is definitely older. And that's because East Carmel is really original Carmel. That's where Carmel was still relatively small, and Carmel now is not small. It's over 100,000 people here. So it's expanded out this way. And if you go further west than this, so I'm close to, if you go just a little bit to the west of where I'm standing, you get to Town Road. But Town Road years ago, 20 years ago, used to be really far west, and now it's not. You have to go all the way out to Shelbourne Road to really get pretty far west in Carmel, and that's essentially the border of Carmel. Essentially, if you cross that, you can get over into Zionsville, but the border between Zionsville and Carmel is kind of subjective. It goes all over the place too. There's zigzags a little bit, so there's no exact spot for it. The differences there between West Carmel, like I said, it's just that West Carmel is newer typically. Got a cart coming down here. I don't want to get in their way. Danny Boy Brewery, awesome little place to eat outside. Of course, have some good beer. Really cool spot. And then just past that, you're getting into a little bit more of the neighborhood here in the village. So definitely newer homes on average in West Carmel than you're gonna find in East Carmel. This is kind of an extreme version of a lot of the neighborhoods that you'll find in West Carmel. So East Carmel, you can definitely find this. It's just gonna be a little bit more rare than in West Carmel, where you have these master plan communities. And now a master plan community, that's a real broad thing, or at least a lot of neighborhoods can fit inside of a master plan community definition. But usually in a master plan community, you've got amenities. So at the very basic level of a lot of these neighborhoods that you're gonna see in West Carmel is that you will see some amenities. Not quite to this level, but you're gonna see a pool, and you'll have an HOA associated with your neighborhood in most cases. And if it's a fairly expensive HOA, maybe $700–800 a year, something like that, sometimes a little bit more. Here in the Village West Clay, your HOA can definitely be more than that, as you have to maintain all of the common areas, and there is a lot of common area here in Village West Clay. And then also you have snow removal when we get snow in the winter, even though it's not tremendous, but the public roads in through the neighborhood would be plowed, not your driveway, not your sidewalk, but the roads through here. And then just the amenities, the pools, things like that that you can go to that are part of the community, well, you have to maintain those. So HOA is definitely there. But if you're in a master plan community, then typically it's going to have some kind of amenities. And so that usually means a playground, it could be a really small one, could be a larger one, and likely a pool. And it's kind of nice to have. There are a lot of people that own their own pools and have it in their own yard, but if you're from the South, that's a lot more common than the Midwest. Our pool season is certainly shorter than somebody who lives in, let's say, of course, Florida or Arizona, but even further south like Tennessee, or you get into Georgia and Alabama, Mississippi, places like that. They can still have a winter, but their pool season could be a little bit longer than what we have here, because we're essentially from Memorial Day to Labor Day. Now, it can be a little warmer for a pool before Memorial Day, and it can be certainly warm enough to swim well after Labor Day, but that's usually the pool season for most HOAs and neighborhoods and public pools, things like that. So a master plan community is going to have some kind of amenities, and that would be at the basic level: pool, maybe a playground. They could get a little bit fancier in having basketball court or tennis courts, something like that. The thing that's really picked up steam and popularity over the past couple of years, and I think it's due to the pandemic, is pickleball. So pickleball has just exploded. I see a lot of tennis courts that have been transformed from a tennis court into a pickleball court, which is pretty cool. I mean, pickleball is kind of like a sport between tennis and table tennis, ping pong. So it's right in between the two. It's exploded in popularity. But this would be a good example of Village West Clay and some of the common areas. I mean, this is just super nice. And then you actually have the village back here behind me. Awesome fountain, Sam's Ale House right over there behind me. I can actually smell it right now. It smells really good. And some shops over here. You got a person biking right up to it. Saw Greek's Pizza over there, and some people actually eating there for lunch because it's about lunchtime right now. Filming this video. But this would be an extreme example again of a master plan community and the amenities that it could have in it. And of course, this isn't just for people of Village West Clay. You can live here and in a variety of ways. So they have townhomes like these white buildings right back here behind me, and there's some more townhomes over there, so it'd be a less expensive way to get into a place like this. And then you can have multi-million-dollar home, everything in between here in the village. So quite a variety in this neighborhood, but for the most part, if you're looking under 600,000, very difficult to get in here. Very difficult, especially if you're looking for a single family home. And in most cases, the yards are very tiny if they have a yard at all. Sometimes it's a little courtyard or patio, so less maintenance, but you have a bunch of kids that like to run around outside, or your dog, something like that. Probably not gonna be necessarily the perfect fit, but it could be. It just depends on what you like. But under 6, it's a lot harder to get into a place like this. And the HOA fees are a little higher because, again, you have all of these amenities and these public spaces. But I don't live here, and I can come here for lunch, dinner, or in here just to mill around if I want to. I don't very often, but you definitely could. So it's almost like public parks, even though it's really part of this master plan community. Other neighborhoods, as you go around the village, are not exactly in the style of this one, and they certainly don't have the amenities, but having some amenities is pretty common. And I'm talking about the neighborhoods surrounding Village West Clay. And then as you get spread out throughout the rest of West Carmel, it does become quite common to have neighborhoods like that. So recently I've been talking to some people that want to live in a master plan community, but everybody's got a slightly different definition of what a master plan community really truly is. This one here, again, is on the extreme of what that would be, where it's almost like its own little town, even though you still need to leave this to hit a grocery store or a movie theater or quite a few other things, of course, too, that you might need on a daily basis. Not that you need a movie theater on a daily basis, but need some entertainment, and you might have to leave this in order to find some of that. But that definition of master plan community is pretty varied and pretty wide. Most of the time I think people mean they just want some amenities. So Carmel does offer a lot of neighborhoods like that do offer some amenities. But when you visit here, this is just the extreme and certainly a lot more rare. You've got other neighborhoods in some of the other cities that surround Carmel, Westfield and Fishers. Those can have neighborhoods that are similar to this one, but not even close to the extent that you see here and everything that it has to offer. So there's a neighborhood called Saxony in Fishers, which does have a couple of restaurants, and if you lived in a neighborhood you could walk over to it, but it's not going to be to the extent that we see here with businesses and bank or your dentist, something like that here in your own neighborhood that you could bike over to or walk to. Much more rare. So if you have questions about a place like this, Village of West Clay, which is really super neat, and for a lot of people, but not for everybody, of course. That's why you would need to reach out, try to figure out if this is a good fit for you or if it's not, and you kind of push to the side and you're looking for something else. Questions, reach out any way you know how. And until the next one, we'll see you later.